You ready? Here we go. Hello, everyone. On today's show, we're going to discuss something very serious because DSP, the king, may be moving to Kick. We're going to talk about the real situation. No, I'm not fully moving to Kick or anything like that, but I've got some serious things to consider and think about, and we want to talk about them live with the audience today. In addition to that, we've got a couple news stories and more fun stuff. It's a great day. The week continues. And of course, after that, got Silent Hill 2 continuing, which is going to be amazing. I will see you in a sec for today's amazing episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, the 9th of October, 2024, my 7th straight streaming day of the week. Yes, this is a doozy of a week for me. 8 straight streaming days, and we've almost gotten through it. We've almost completed the streak. That is right. If you remember, the challenge this week was to hit all of the goals every stream that I did. And if we did that 13 streams in a row, I'm doing a very special edition of DSP Tries It, bringing it out of retirement this weekend for us to try the new Krabby Patty meal from Wendy's. So we are on pace. I mean, we are right there. 2 more days to go, and we've done it. And then it'll be this Saturday when I will be having this meal live on stream with all of you to test it out and celebrate the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. So I hope that you guys are excited. It's been a great week, correct? On today's show, we're going to address something pretty interesting, something that we've been kind of talking about now for a month or two, and some stuff that I tried to do last night, and I was very confused. We're going to discuss Kick. For those who don't know, Kick is a different streaming platform. It's not Twitch, it's not YouTube, it's not Rumble. It's its own deal. It's financed differently. It runs differently, okay? And of course, ever since I made an appearance over on Kino Casino a couple of times over the course of August, people have been saying, Phil, would you consider streaming on Kick like they do? In fact, those guys themselves have said to me, hey, Phil, would you come over to Kick? Because I tell you, it's good over here. They love streaming over there. And the way I see it, there's pros and cons. The way I see it, there's definitely, let me put it this way. It's not out of the question, but there is a question, all right? And that's some of the stuff that we have to talk about today on the show. I feel like we should have a serious discussion about the possibility of me doing some content over on Kick and if I should try it out, all right? So that's going to be a big chunk of today's show. But in addition to that, we've got some news stories that I'd like to cover. Jasper Kitty's in the office today. How you doing, Jasper? He's a little confused because I have a brand new fan in the office now. And he's looking at it like, what is it, right, buddy? You don't know what it is. It's a brand new fan that I bought yesterday because our fan in the living room, we had a tower fan in the living room, broke. And it sucks because we only bought it like maybe 2 years ago. It's relatively, on the newer side. And it just stopped working entirely. So we jumped on Amazon because we wanted something quick, and we found a pretty good, amount of fans that were available right away. Like you could get them same day, and so we ordered one fast, and it showed up. And it just so happens it's the most powerful fan we have in the house. Like it pushes air better than the fan we have. Well, the fan I had in here, the fan that was in the bedroom, and the fan that was previously in the living room. And I'm like, well, in this case, I'm the one who's in the office here with the sun beating on the wall. He heats the office up tremendously, and it's really annoying. So if, the best fan should definitely be in here. And so we rotated all the fans around in the house. So I have the new fan, which instead of being like a tower, it's like one of those, like a circular, what do you call it? A circular fan, but it's on a big pedestal, and it pivots back and forth, and it blows really strong, which is great. Which is probably why Jasper is like wondering what the heck it is, because he hasn't seen a fan like that before. He's only seen tower fans. He's not familiar with this one. Incidentally, to give it more height so it would push more air through my room, I have it sitting on my Xbox Series X box, the box from the Xbox Series X. That's the most confusing sentence ever. 2 boxes and 2 X's. Right? Oh, wow, Jasper. Take a look at this delicious beverage I'm having in this Level 1 podcast mug, Jasper. Can you believe the quality of the mug? Look, Jasper even is admiring the quality of the Level 1 podcast mug. He's loves it. I think he wants me to order him one right now from darksidefield.shop. Available in 2 colors, black and white, right? Very nice. So anyway, there you go. Anyway, so, that being said, yeah, I've got a brand new fan in here. It's pushing air nicely. Hopefully it's going to help with these afternoons where it gets warmer because the sun is out. And hopefully, the fall weather will fully move in and I won't have any more warm days, but I've actually took a look, and within a day or two, it's going to be in the 70s again outside, which means it's going to be about 90 in here. It's like, dude, when is the fall weather beginning? It's mid-October, and we're having 70 to 80 degree weather, which is summer weather. So when does it begin in Washington? Really, I want to know, when is fall beginning? Anyway, so that's neither here nor there, but I thought you might want to know why he was over there. And, I'm sure you can't hear it, right? You can't hear the fan. These mic filters that I put on the mic are so good that basically you don't hear anything in the office anymore besides me talking and every once in a while a random noise. But for the most part, it doesn't really pick up anything. So the fan, isn't a big deal. It's pretty good that I'm able to have something new like that and it doesn't bother anybody. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about today. Various different topics. I want to update you also on the schedule, the week, and all of that. And like I said, I have a few news stories I'd like to try to cover today, but I guess it really depends on how long this kick discussion is going to go today, right? So anyway, thank you guys for 9 straight streams crushing the goals. 9 in a row. We only have 4 more to go, and the week will be done, and we will lock in to the big DSP Tries It Krabby Patty meal this weekend from Wendy's, all right? So please, let's keep that momentum going. And if you like my content and you're enjoying everything I've been doing so far, please, first of all, engage with the streams by liking them. That helps a ton. That allows this channel to get recognition in the YouTube algorithm. So I hope that you will like the stream if you have not yet. And if you're watching this on demand, the likes on the videos on demand, it does exactly the same thing, okay? Now, outside of that, really cool stuff going on this week with your support, right? Hitting 9 goals in a row is huge. Just keep it up. Super chats, super stickers, and tips all count towards that goal. So we've been crushing it. $150 raised every stream. Let's keep that rolling this week, shall we? And let's get that marathon going. Let's get that DSP Tries It going this weekend, right? I'm very excited to do it for you. And already people are saying stuff like, oh, what's the next one? I'm like, hold on, right? We don't jump the gun. The next one could be that they have Addams Family themed food at Burger King right now. And if next week we have a similar week to this week where it's kind of like a week of support, maybe I would do that. But let's get to the first one first. People tend to get so ahead of themselves when it comes to stuff. And then you basically get all hyped up for something that may not happen. We haven't hit the goal yet, right? Like we still have 4 more streams. We may not do it. I hope we'll do it. I think we'll do it, but we might not. And if we don't, well then, it's going to hit the reset button. Why are we going to talk about the next thing before we hit the first one, right? So there we go. Speaking of which, our first contribution of the day has arrived in the form of a tip. So let's take a look. Oh, okay. See, this is interesting. So Nico has tipped me $2. and this is going to open the discussion on Kick, which is great because I want to talk about it just in this capacity. He says, streaming solo on Kick. And what he means by that is if I only stream on Kick, okay? That would sadly stop some of us from watching your content. Kick, for example, is banned in my country of Greece, and I assume that that's the case for some other European countries as well. If the pros outweigh the cons, then I respect it, and by all means do it, but it would suck for some of us that can't access the website. Fair enough. See, this is exactly the kind of input I'm looking for today. I want honesty. I want transparency. I want people to let me know legit if you can or cannot tune in, why you can or cannot tune in. I'm very interested in this information. This is what I want to know so that we can make decisions, okay? So I don't know why Kick would be banned in Greece. I don't know so much about Kick. You know, for me, my only exposure to Kick is having watched some Kino Casino streams over there. And that's it. You know, I don't even really know how the site works in regards to stuff. From what I'm to understand, the only revenue you can get over there is either paid memberships, or if you have enough viewership and you bring in enough support, they actually pay certain streamers like a flat rate. Like they'll actually pay you per hour to stream, but that's only if you qualify, and that's not everyone. Okay, that's like, I'm assuming that's if you're like a big time streamer, you make a flat rate pay for the time that you stream over there. All right, I do not believe that they have any kind of like super chats, bits. There's no system like that, right? So the only revenue is paid subs and you know, if you're getting paid on the hour. Now, from what I believe, you can still get tips, right? And because I know the guys from Kino Casino get tips and they call them out. So definitely you could still get income via that. So it's not like, oh, I'm completely locking myself into subscriptions only if I stream on Kick. There's other revenue that I can make as well, and you guys would be able to contribute. Let's say you were solely against Kick. Oh, I don't want to, you know, do anything through Kick. You could still tip, right? Listen, I get it. Everyone has their own thing. Some people really hate YouTube, and they're like, I'll watch it on YouTube, but man, I'm not going to pay YouTube and do any kind of support through YouTube, but I'll tip you, right? That's why I have all these alternate methods of support set up. So basically, no matter what you want to do, there's something you can do if you want to support my content, right? So I'm basically being told that on Kick, it is run by a gambling company, and they actually allow gambling streams. Like, people gamble on the site live. They broadcast it. And because of that, that's not allowed in certain countries, and that's why it's banned in, like, Greece. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. You know, I would not be gambling. Well, okay. I know we're getting into this discussion, but I kind of wanted to get through the schedule and everything first. Before we got into the full Kick discussion. That way it's out of the way. All right. Let's quickly do the schedule for the rest of the week. And then we'll get into the full Kick discussion. Because I'm basically, I want to talk with you about my ideas. Because it's not Phil is moving over to Kick and everything. That's ridiculous, right? No, I have a few ideas. Okay, all right. Let's do the schedule first. So today, it's the Level 1 podcast discussing Kick and some news stories. And then after that, we're continuing on with the very awesome Silent Hill 2 remake. So far, I'm over 10 hours in. Well, I'm around 10 hours in, not over. And I really like the game. I really only have one complaint. That boss fight I did last night, that's called Flesh Lips. That boss fight sucked. It wasn't fun at all. It wasn't even challenging. It was just a meat sponge, meaning unload a bunch of weapons into it and then beat it up. And I was like, oh, that's kind of crappy. Like, with a boss fight, traditionally, you would want essentially to have some kind of an element of challenge or something unique about the boss. Literally, this boss is just stupid. And I didn't like that. Okay, it was just very boring. I'm not spoiling Gabriel. First of all, if you've played Silent Hill 2, it's also the worst boss in the regular Silent Hill 2. Only this time it's I feel like it's even worse, because this is like the rematch, and the rematch is not even as like, it's just equally crappy, you know. But that, like, if I played 10 hours and I have one complaint about the game, that's a good sign, right? Like, it's not like everything else is great. The atmosphere, the graphics, the gameplay, the story. I like that all the puzzles have been redone and are interesting. Like, that was the only thing about the game so far that I was like, I didn't really like it. So we continue on today, 3 more hours. of Silent Hill 2 this afternoon. I'm very excited for it. I hope you guys are too. It should be great. Then tonight on the late stream, it is WWE Champions returning around 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're continuing with the Toxic Rumble event this month, which is the Zombies event all month long in October. Tonight we should be able to recruit Zombie Chelsea Green because we'll have enough of the freebie shards that they're giving you every day. And we're going to see what else is going on. I think there's a bunch of tours and stuff to play, and we'll continue to try to unlock new league requirements and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun. And as usual, if we hit the support goal on the late stream tonight, I will do a mega pull. And there's a whole new mega pull loot this week. It's actually the best zombies of like last year are in this mega pull. So even if I pull and don't get, you know, a current zombie, getting one from last year, one of these top ones is still a great pull. I don't know if I'll get that, but anyway, it should be great. I hope you'll join me tonight for WWE Champions, okay? Then tomorrow, we're going to have another chill podcast. We're going to do another Silent Hill 2 stream. And then tomorrow night, it's the return of fighting games. But we have to determine if you guys want to see more of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, which is what I did for Friday Night Fights, and you guys liked, or do you want me to go back to Street Fighter 6? I'm kind of undecided. If I play Street Fighter 6, I'm going to go back to one of the characters that I'm good with. I'm not going to play Terry Bogard. He's too frustrating and he sucks. I want to use a character that I'm actually good with and I can win with. Or more Marvel collection. Marvel went very well last Friday. Everyone really seemed to enjoy Marvel. Me kicking butt, and you know there were some good high tier matches. There were low tier matches, and in between, it was a good time. Marvel 2, right? Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Sadly, I don't know if I'll ever be able to find anyone else playing but Marvel 2 because it seems like all the other games died, right? So I want your opinions on that. What would you prefer tomorrow night? Marvel vs. Capcom collection, which is going to be mostly Marvel vs. Capcom 2, or would you prefer Street Fighter 6, right? I'd like to know. I want your feedback on that. And that'll help us determine what we're going to do, okay? So, that's tomorrow. And then I'm off on Friday. When I return on Saturday, it's the premiere of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And then Saturday night, it's our Saturday WWE Champion stream, which will be good because it's the weekend event going on. You'll have a new zombie that's premiering and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. And then, of course, Sunday's my React day. Now, I don't have any other new games, really, that are coming out or in the mix for a bit. The next high-profile new release is on the 25th, so we're going to have a couple of weeks to juggle what we're doing. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, finishing Silent Hill 2, and, of course, going back to and finishing Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. So we've got a lot to do. We actually have a ton of content coming up, horror-themed. By the way, if you're not aware, there's another horror game coming out based on the movies The Quiet Place, right? So that's coming out, too, and if we beat the stuff that we're playing and we win a new game for the rotation, we could do that, too. So we've got a lot of horror-themed stuff going on. Now is a great time to remind all of you, please nominate games for my upcoming Halloween Marathon event that will take place on Halloween, October 31st. I think it's a Thursday this year. It's a marathon where I'll be dressed up in costume. I'll be playing a variety of games that you're nominating and going to vote for. There'll be food. There'll be some booze. It's going to be a great festive Halloween daytime. It's one of my big marathons of the year. I do 2 big marathons every year. I do the Halloween event and the Christmas event, and this is one of the big 2. Okay, so I hope that you will join me for it. It should be a great time. Be sure to nominate games. How do you do that? Type !Halloween into the chat right now. It'll bring up the link to the post where you could nominate games, or just check out the community tab of this channel. Scroll down to the beginning of the month and you'll find that post there. Please nominate games. That'll be going about maybe 1 more week, tops. And then what I'm going to do is close it up, count it up, do a poll, and you guys will be voting on the most nominated games to see what makes it into the event. And by the way, please try to use your brains and nominate stuff that's intelligent, like, you know, horror games and stuff. If you nominate Stellar Blade, I'm just going to publicly laugh at you on stream and make fun of you when we get to that, because we're not playing a Stellar Blade on Halloween. Even if I was to play Stellar Blade, I still wouldn't play it on Halloween. That's the dumbest suggestion ever, and we know that you're just a bunch of internet perverts who want to see me play the game because you want to see boobs and ass. Jeez. Okay. So, continuing on. One more thing, and then we'll get back to the kick subject, which I know you guys want to talk about. Interviews. So, I don't have an interview going on this week, okay? The Review Tech interview's off the table. I'm done with that fucker. But I have several other interviews that I am working on and lining up. Notably, next week, it's looking like I'm definitely going to have at least 1 interview, okay, on the Level 1 podcast. I may have 2. It depends on how things go. I'm working on scheduling right now. The bummer is I don't know my wife's schedule for next week yet. So if I don't know her schedule, I don't know my schedule, and that means I can't lock any dates for anyone, right? That's the problem I'm kind of waiting on right now is I need to know her work schedule, and then I can figure out who's going to be interviewed. I can tell you right now, one of the interviews I'm working on is Boogie, okay? He wants to come on. I've been interested in having him on, and we're trying to work out the exact date that this can work. And that's on me because I need to get my schedule in line first, okay? So that'll be interesting. That could be next week. I'm not guaranteeing you it's going to be next week. It could be next week. But I'm also working on a second interview that I think would be very interesting to some. It's going to be a guest that I'm not going to announce yet until I've got it in place and they're ready to be announced. And it's going to be a very interesting one. Let's put it that way. This is not, how can I say? This is just not, it's not one that I think anyone's going to expect. Let's put it that way. That's the best thing I could say is I don't think anyone would expect this, okay? So there you go. A couple interviews possibly next week. I think at the least I'm probably going to have one, all right? I may actually end up having two. It really depends on scheduling and how things work out, all right? So, and it's funny because people are in chat like, well, what about Wings? I already explained this. Wings is coming on the show. He just has to get to a point where he can be on the show. Like he's going to have surgery soon. You guys know that, right? He's going to have surgery. He's going to have to recover. Like he wants to come on the show, but he needs to get through a tougher time right now. And then he can come on the show. Okay. So just chill with that. Because I've already explained this and people are just asking again. It's like, just stop that, right? Okay. Good stuff. So now we can get back to the subject you all want to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen. So here we are. Let me look at the time. It's about 21 minutes. Cool. Because I got to think of a timestamp when I'm going to clip it. Excuse me. Whew. So, I am seriously considering streaming on Kick in some capacity very soon. All right? So you might say, well, why? What's causing this? Why all of a sudden are you thinking about possibly streaming on a different platform than YouTube? Well, there's a couple of reasons. All right? Reason number one is obviously because I've done some work with the guys from Kino Casino. And the Kino Casino guys stream on Kick exclusively. And they, in the last, month, have kind of talked to me about, I should basically do some content over there. That Kick is lucrative. That it's a place where if you work there and you're consistent, with some of the work you're doing, there's potential for big earnings. And it's huge earnings compared to any other streaming platform. I'm being told you keep 95% of what you make on Kick as opposed to on YouTube, but you only keep like around 70%. Twitch is even worse. Like Twitch is literally the worst. At this point, I can't imagine why a single person with a brain in their head would want to be streaming on Twitch because it just seems to me like a lost cause and a bunch of you're basically paying the wrong people a ton of money to use their site. It doesn't make sense when everyone else is better. So anyway, in regards to Kick, all right, I would make good money if I streamed there and I had a following and they were supportive. I would actually be making more streaming on there than YouTube because not only is it based on, views, but it's based on how many subs you get, which is how you get support there from your followers. It's subs, people subbing. But it's also, if you get big enough on Kick, you can get into a program, and this takes a while. This is not like a quick thing that's instant, but you can get into a special program where they'll actually pay you to stream. Like you'll turn on your stream for 2 hours, you'll get paid per hour because you streamed on there. And that's because they're assuming you're making earnings, right? And the earnings are going to even out, based on your performance and stuff. So, that's kind of neat. That's not something that like immediately I would get or even really care about. But the fact that there is earnings potential like that long term is kind of neat. There's nothing like that anywhere else. So that's number one is earnings potential. I'm being told there's big earnings potential on Kick. And by the way, it's not an oversaturated streaming platform right now. For example, if I were to go over there and do certain things, I may be the biggest person on Kick doing particular things. They don't have a lot of ginormous streamers over there. So they'd be more welcoming to someone like me going over there and making content for them. Okay? That's number one. Okay? Number two, recently, I've started doing a bunch of content that's different from the norm of the content that I used to do, and the content is working, right? And the content is essentially turning out to be good for me, but the content is so different from the stuff that I used to do that it's not in line with what a lot of my longtime viewers have watched. What I mean by that is streaming WWE champions and or drama content that I've been doing for the last month and a half, right? You know, when I do a podcast here and half the podcast is talking about Review Tech USA or COG or Ethan Ralph or LTG, this is not the kind of stuff that I used to do, correct? And then everyone told me my podcast was boring. So I implemented this new content, and now people are like, why is your podcast all drama? And I'm like, now wait a minute. You told me the podcast was boring. So I changed it up. I'm doing different kinds of content, and now you complain that it changed. And it's like, well, you can't have it both ways, right? You can't. So that's the thing, that basically, the way I see it, if I continue to do this content that's a little different, perhaps it makes sense to do it on a different platform, right? If I'm going to be covering drama and I'm going to be talking about other content creators in a dramatic fashion, you know, a little feuding back and forth and stuff like that, then maybe it makes sense to separate it from my already established content on YouTube, right? And that way it won't hinder the content here, right? For example, the WWE Champion stuff, let's be honest, it's mobile gaming. It's incredibly different from the other kind of gaming content that I do on this channel. I'm spending money to pull in the game, and a lot of people are like uncomfortable with that because they're like, oh, isn't that kind of like gambling? It's not. It's not gambling because it's in-game. It's the same as pulling packs in FIFA or a sports game, right? But I get it. Like, I totally understand that people are like, this is not the kind of content that you were doing. And it's so different. You know what I'm saying? It's jarring to see you do it and stream this just in your normal schedule here. So the thing is, on Kick, that kind of shit is like welcomed. That kind of shit is like, bring it more in, right? To see people do games of chance, you know, that's what they want over there. So this champion stream are like a no-brainer to be over there, right? But let's say, for example, that we're in a situation where there's drama going on and I want to address it, but I know for a fact that if I spend half my podcast talking about it, people are going to get upset with me. They're like, man, no, more drama, more drama. Maybe doing a random night stream every once in a while over on Kick, and you could say, oh, it's a drama stream. I'm going to address this and this and this, and we're going to watch these clips back, and we're going to do this. But it's done on a different platform, right? That way, again, it separates itself from my existing content, so it doesn't feel like I'm hindering what I want to do or the kind of content I want to do here, right? So there you go. And Fed Rogers says, political show on Kick. Dude, if I was going to do politics of any capacity, I would not be doing it here on YouTube. I'm just telling you right now, you're not going to see Darkside Phil doing a whole political shtick here on YouTube. I would definitely want to separate that and do that somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? By the way, my bad, because Cabal did a super chat 15 minutes ago, and I didn't read it out because I was doing the schedule. He says, it's a $10 super chat, by the way. Maybe you could take your drama content and interviews over to Kick. They can be uncut and then bring that here edited in line with the terms of service. Well, what I could do is very similar to what I've been doing with the podcast. I could do it. Let's say I do a random night stream, right? And this whole night stream just happens to be about, I don't know, Ethan Ralph, right? We're talking about Ethan Ralph for like an hour. He said something about me. I say something back about him and crap like that. You know what I'm saying? So I do the stream over there on Kick, the live stream. I have interaction with the audience. I take in support. All of that happens live on Kick. But I record it locally, and then I clip out the highlights, and I upload them to the channel in a highlight manner. So you can choose whether or not you want to actually watch it here on YouTube, right? And it's the selected clips that make sense that would fit YouTube. You see? I think that could work pretty well. Excuse me. So, you know, this is what I'm thinking, okay? Now, here's the thing. Everything that I've talked about right now makes sense, right? Making more money, when I stream on Kick because the opportunity is there. I just don't know if it's going to work out or not. And also the fact that I already have content that would absolutely fit Kick's formula, whether it's the WWE champions or the drama streams and stuff like that, hangout sessions, right? But there are definitely some negatives. Are you ready for the negatives? Because there are quite a few, I would think. Okay? So number one, Kick does not allow you to broadcast at high bit rates. Okay? Right now, this stream on YouTube, I am broadcasting at, I want to say 15,000, maybe even higher than that. What's my bit rate right now? Hold on, I'm going to find out. Yeah, I'm broadcasting on YouTube at 15,000 kilobits per second. 15,000, that's incredibly high. All right, it's probably not good enough for a great 4K stream, but it's definitely good enough for, you know, like a standard 1080p stream. That's why I do it at that quality. That's why my streams look so good, because I'm broadcasting at a very big bit rate, okay? On Kick, I'm almost positive, I think the highest they can do is 8,500, all right? So that's what I mean when I say if I'm going to stream on Kick, it has to be a certain kind of content. I don't want to be streaming the hot new release game that you want to see the absolute best quality. The graphics are great. I'm not going to be doing that on Kick. It wouldn't make sense. I'd be hindering the quality of my stream. You see? Like, I'll be honest. For example, the guys at Kino Casino said if you played Street Fighter over here, you would be the biggest Street Fighter player on Kick, hands down. Like, no one's playing Street Fighter on Kick. And I was like, that's true, but man, my stream would look like garbage. I know it would. Like, it would be pixelated. It would look choppy. That was the problem with when I used to do Street Fighter content at the lower bitrate. It just didn't work. It wasn't looking good at all. So, honestly, I don't think I would ever want to or be able to do high-quality gaming on Kick. I would have to limit it to certain kinds of content. Like, me just talking to the camera would be perfect on Kick, right? Or me doing WWE Champions, or who gives a crap about the graphics of the mobile game, right? That would definitely work, you see? But doing all this high-quality gaming would not work for Kick because of that big limitation, all right? So that's number one. Number two, this I can't confirm yet because I haven't actually done it yet. I haven't done a stream over there. But everyone keeps telling me the moderation over on Kick is terrible. That the chat gets absolutely out of control. You get people on there with bot accounts and issues, and that it's basically like a big problem. Like, the moderation is wildly insufficient to have a stream that's kind of under control. And considering the fact that I am who I am, like, I know I'm Darkside Phil. I know that I have a giant group of detractors who follow me no matter where I go. The first thing they're going to try to do is ruin that chat experience. Now, if I'm on a new platform, right, and I'm trying to have great interaction, I'm trying to give shout outs for supporters, how am I going to do that if the chat is completely out of control, right? I don't know. And it's funny because I keep getting mixed signals about it. Some people absolutely say, yeah, it's terrible over there. And then others are like, no, that's not true. It's improved and it's better. One Sick Puppy just said the chat is better on Kick. There's less bots, actually. You see? So, I don't know. Lady Charisma says, from personal experience, I haven't even been in a single Kick chat where someone doesn't call me a slur. I mean, listen, I get that. Like, it seems like when you have a business where they outright say basically everything goes, that's the kind of element you're going to get. You're going to get way more of those people who want to go and they purposely want to be malicious. They're there for that reason. They're there because they know they can't get away with that kind of behavior elsewhere. So then they all kind of gather at the place where they know that they can get away with that stuff, right? Okay, so continuing the discussion, you know, the other thing that I'm thinking about is like early on when I looked into it, and when you start streaming on Kick, you can't earn anything yet. Okay, you have to stream 5 hours to qualify for the early affiliate program, which means then people can buy subscriptions for your channel. And the thing is, you know, if I'm streaming over there for 5 hours or whatever, I'm not going to get paid for it, right? And that's not a big deal. That would be what, like 2 night streams, right? But I'm wondering, what else can you do? Like, are bots allowed over there? Could I have Nightbot come over and be able to, like, give links to my content? Like, for example, right now, if I'm streaming on Kick, let's say I was streaming right now on Kick, I couldn't make anything, but I'd want people to say, hey, if you want to contribute, please tip. Can I even do that on Kick? Is there a way to say, hey, here's the link, tip through that link? Here's my, you know, my PayPal page, or, you know, I don't know how it works. I'd have to kind of like figure all this out, right? By the way, just for the record, I know for a fact that you can set up blocked words and moderation tools on Kick. I was in the dashboard this morning, just looking around briefly to see what was there, and it said right there, you have a whole list of blocked words. So I can make it that people cannot be coming in and saying slurs and things like that. Of course, what could actually happen is people just undermine it anyway by changing the spelling and stuff like that. And that's the kind of stuff that happens everywhere. That happens on YouTube. That happens everywhere, right? There you go. So, yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure the guys at Kino Casino, they have a place where you can donate direct if you want, but they push the subs because why wouldn't they? When Kick is taking such a small percentage, just push the subs. It's the easiest thing to do. Have people just sub to the channel, right? So anyway, the way it works, because I looked at it, and there's like a tiered system. Hold on, I can actually bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up over here and show you on screen because this is my personal, you know, dashboard. And I have no idea how this works and if anything here would be exposed and be a problem. But if you go here, so the way it works, I go to achievements, right? So here's what it says. Build your community. You need to get 75 followers on your channel. I literally have done nothing but chat in the Kino Casino chat room while they stream, and I have over 100 followers on Kick right now. So that's complete. Hang out with your community, stream for a total of 5 hours, right? Once you've done those 2 things, you qualify for subs. So all I have to do is stream on Kick for 5 hours, and I qualify for getting subscribers on there. I mean, I could easily do 2 night streams, and by the end of the second night stream, I qualify for subs, right? Of course, I would have to sign up and do all the information. Then after that, once you have the subs, then you get your verification, which is how you get the check mark, and I think you get other features. So you need to get 20 paid subscribers that aren't gifted, but 20 legit paid subscribers. You need to have 75 viewers on average in a 30-day period, so you can't even get verification for 30 days. You need to stream 12 days out of 30, and I think that would be my challenge, because like I told you guys, if I stream on Kick, it's probably just going to be WWE Champions and maybe a random stream here or there where I do like a drama hangout or something like that. I don't foresee myself streaming 12 streams in a month on Twitch. On Kick. So that might be my biggest hurdle because I'm just not planning on streaming that much over there, right? Putting the time in, stream for a total of 30 hours in 30 days. Again, if I'm doing 2 3-hour streams, and I do it 2-3 times a week, I might not hit that 30 hours. I don't know if I would even hit that. And then get people chatting, have 200 unique chatters. That will happen probably the first night that I'm on Kick. I'll have 200 unique chatters, right? So that's what's weird. And then here's the Kick incentive program. This is where you're so big on Kick, you can get paid hourly. In that case, you have to have a total of 25 paid subscribers. You have to reach an average of 100 viewers in 30 days. Stream for 15 days out of 30 days. Stream for a total of 50 hours in 30 days. And have 500 unique chatters and reach 1,500 followers. Okay? Here's the thing. I could do most of these. Like, I think I could do most of these. Just not all. Unless I streamed a lot on Kick. I don't know how I would get those hour requirements. That might be the biggest hurdle. But the thing is, if I'm just getting subs and the subs are that profitable over there, right? Let's say twice a week I stream WWE Champions on Kick, okay? And then once a week, I do like a drama stream or a chill stream where we hang out on Kick and we talk about anything. Anything goes stream. Maybe that's what we could call it. Anything goes with the king. Once a week. A random stream of that, right? So if I do those 3 streams a week and I'm getting subs and I'm getting tips, then I don't think it matters that I'm not qualifying for the higher tier program, right? I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I mean the way I see it, I'm thinking about doing a test stream on Kick to see how it works. I would have to change my streaming bitrate through OBS, but I think it would be a WWE Champion stream. I'm actually seriously considering it this Saturday. I'm not going to do it tonight because tonight would be too fast, and I would want to talk about it and get people to know that it's going to happen and all of that, right? But my fear is that, number one, the chat's going to go wild, right? That's number one. I don't know how I'm going to keep it under control because I don't know how I'm going to get like a moderating team. You know what I'm saying? And number two, getting everything working that first night. I don't want, imagine if I do a stream and there's like, you know, hundreds to thousands, 1,000 viewers on there to see Phil on Kick, and then the whole thing fucks up. Right? Like, let me just botch my first appearance on Kick, you know? I don't know. Red King, it's totally not about farming drama. It's not what we're talking about. It's WWE Champions, which I'm already doing. And it's maybe one stream a week where we just do kind of anything goes, you know, night stream. And that's it. Jade says he would not go to Kick. Yeah, Jade, again, I totally understand that it's not for everyone. And like I said, it would be selective content. I would not be taking my podcast to Kick. I would not be taking my game playthroughs and stuff like that to Kick. It would only be select content that would go to Kick. Okay? So, you know, that's what I'm thinking about. All right? And that way, here's the thing. No one's going to be upset if a couple streams a week or somewhere else, right? Because I'm still here most of the time. All the content that you still like from YouTube will still be here on this channel, right? So there you go. So let's talk about it over the week, but I'm seriously thinking about trying one stream, okay? Just one, and see how it goes. And if it's a train wreck, and the quality is terrible, and the connection's terrible, and the experience is terrible, then I might not do it again, right? But I feel like, you know, I've got opportunity now. I've got people who are interested in me, would be willing to support and jump on to a new style of content on a new site. And here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal. I want you to go back in time, all right, to 2012 and 2013. And here's why I want you to go back in time for a little bit, all right? Back in time, around that time period, everyone was saying to me, Phil, you need to adapt. You need to change. You need to jump on new opportunities. You are recording your gameplay with a camera pointed at a TV, all right? It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. We want you to improve. And I said, well, wait a minute. My core fan base is used to me recording with a camera. They tell me they want me to continue to make content in this method, that this is what they're used to. This is what they like. This is what feels safe and regular. That's why they want me to keep making content like that. Why would I change my style of content when my core fan base is telling me they're happy with what I'm doing? And basically, some people who I completely ignored, and this is my fault and I regret it now, they said to me, you are going to become a dinosaur. You're going to become the guy from 2010 to 2012 was popular on YouTube, and you're going to fade into obscurity because no one's going to continue to watch a gamer play with a camera. They want direct capture and they want live streaming, and you're not doing either of those, and that's a huge problem. You're missing out, right? And I just sat there and I put my fingers in my ears like this, and I went, meh, 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 and I ignored it. I ignored all the feedback, the positive, constructive criticism that I was receiving. I ignored every piece of it, okay? I continued to record with a camera throughout 2012 into 2013, and I had a big fall off where people were just not watching anymore, and I literally became the laughing stock of the internet. This is how you don't play hit, And everyone said, well, Phil's an idiot. He's a dumb, stubborn dinosaur. No one should care about this man. Everything's passed him by. Technology, streaming, it's all better than what Phil does. And I basically lost my place as a top gaming creator because I ignored everyone's feedback on it. Like, I literally purposefully ignored what people were telling me. I feel like today, this is that situation all over again. All right? I don't want to abandon my core fan base that likes what I'm doing today at all. In fact, I want the vast majority of my content to be here on YouTube, streamed here, highest quality. I mean, again, I'm streaming games at a great quality that I cannot do anywhere else. I've got 60 frames per second stuff going on. It's amazing, right? But for me, right, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I've got another group of people who like me and are saying, come over and try this out. You don't have to change your entire business model. You don't have to, completely be a different person. But you're already doing kinds of content now that would fit what happens over on Kick. And it would benefit you tremendously. You know what I'm saying? And Snarf says, Kick's emote system can be abused by posting your incident face around racist emotes. You got to know this could be bad. Well, what do you mean? How would that affect me? I'm not going to have those. So if I don't have them, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you mean. Unless you're saying other people would have them. Yeah, and then if someone comes and spams it, you ban them. Right? So who cares? I mean, that could be said for Twitch as well, right? Like that shit on Twitch. YouTube, you're right. YouTube's a little bit of a safer environment because you can only use the emotes that are universal or from your own channel in the chat. So you can't have someone, for example, who's a troll of mine, have a really awful emote and then try to put it in the chat, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Just trying it. Doing a stream of WWE champions over there, seeing how it goes. The bummer is, the first stream, I'm not going to have anything really enabled. There won't be subs, right? It's just going to be, we're doing a stream, and I hope that I can get support in other means. Because, for example, the WWE champion streams are popular because people like to see me do a mega pull. I do a mega pull once I raise enough to do it. Well, if I can't raise anything, then how am I going to do it? Right? So I'm going to have to be reliant that particular night just on tips. People would have to commit and say, okay, that night that you're doing your first Kick stream, you can't make any other revenue. We'll tip you so you can hit the goal and then you can do the mega pull, right? So, yeah, this is, there's a lot to think about. I think we should talk about it more, but I'm seriously considering at least doing one stream on Kick to see how it goes. Okay? Yeah, exactly. I know it's going to be risky. I know you're going to have every troll idiot is going to try to fuck around. And that's what I mean. Like, can you get Nightbot to work on Kick? Or does Kick have their own bot system? Like, what is in place for Kick for moderation? Because I can't just let the chat run unhindered or uncontrolled. That's not even going to be a safe viewing environment, I feel, right? But I don't know how you could get it under control. See, and then you get, are you ready for this? You love this, right? All this time, my detractors saying, see, Phil's boring, his content sucks, he refuses to do this, he refuses to do that. So now I'm going to change a little bit. I'm going to branch out. Hey, maybe I'll leave your stream somewhere else. And then I get a super chat from someone whose name is Constructive Criticism. Whatever happened about you don't like drama, you don't like it. So I got feedback. I'm changing per the feedback I received, and that's a bad thing to you. That my opinion is I'm warming up to changing for the better, you know? Like literally the only reason that in the last 2 months there's been any growth or any change in positivity here is because I have changed. You understand that? I consider doing things differently. The old Phil would never have gone on Kino Casino because he thinks it's a drama show. Correct? The old Phil would have never had Keemstar on his show. Correct? The old Phil would have never sat there and reacted to 12 hours of a documentary about himself admitting all of his shortcomings left, right, up, and down. The old Phil would have said, nope, I want to ignore all of that and just sit here and play video games. And the old Phil would have stayed in his lane, did absolutely nothing to branch out. And the old Phil would be right back where we were with no growth, no change, no positivity, no interest. Just my core fan base, and that's it. Now, I very well could continue to operate like that for the rest of my life. But maybe in some cases, it makes sense to try some different things. I literally just explained that 12 years ago, I was in a very similar position to where I am today. And I chose to stick my fingers in my ears and say, I can't hear you, and do the same thing. And that was the cause of my major downfall as a content creator. Do you understand that? So that's why thinking about changing, trying to expand, trying to be different, listening to the input I'm getting is a good thing. And if you try it and it doesn't work, then what's the big deal? Nothing has been lost. It was a stream or two, right? It's not the big deal. So, right? See, here we go. No, you're abandoning all of your morals and your principles. No. I'm not going to immediately start doing content that all I'm doing is attacking people and ripping people a new butthole. I'm basically taking a look at things that have been towards me for so long and just throwing it back in their faces, right? Who have I been talking about all week? Review Tech, my biggest A-logger in the last 10 years, who literally all he's done is sat on his stream making fun of me, and he made about $100,000 or more doing it. Do you understand? This guy has made more than 6 figures of bank literally ragging on me. I have every right to clap back at that fucker. You understand? That's not abandoning my morals. I'm not sitting here just looking at the news and calling it out in a dramatic fashion. I'm not picking on random people on the internet and punching down. That's not what's happening. People who have already gave me shit. That's who I'm addressing. That's who I'm bringing up. Ethan Ralph did that before I even knew who he was. He was talking shit about me. LTG, are you kidding me? Talked about me many, many times over the years, and I never said a word, and now finally he gets some of that shit back. These are all people who fucking came at the king first. You understand? This is not, hey, it's Phil's drama show where I just pick random people off the internet and make fun of them. That's not what I'm doing. And the fact that you don't understand that proves you're a dunce. Because you paid me $10 to leave 2 really stupid comments, and I keep your money. Man, you're dumb. Patrick, with an $11 super chat, which is now the biggest super chat of the day, says, fortune favors the bold. Be bold, Phil. Step out of your comfort zone and try to evolve. There you go. Thank you very much, Patrick. And then here's the other funny part about it, too, is that already my longtime fans and viewers are like, you know, we don't really enjoy the drama stuff. It gets you views. Like, take a look at my most viewed videos on this channel in the last week. You want to know what the most viewed videos are? Every single drama highlight I took out of the podcast and the Silent Hill 2 videos from day one. That's my biggest content. Everything else, you know, once you get through past the first day of a game, the views drop off, right? Excuse me. Oh, my God. What does my wife think? My wife says, I already told you what she said. She said, it's very simple. Don't be afraid to do new stuff, but at the same time, do not completely change who you are. You got where you got because of your core fan base, right? You know, no one wants to see Darkside Phil become a full-on drama streamer, content creator, the villain of the internet who just attacks everyone, including me. I don't want to be that either, right? I just want to do some different stuff. And if it means that I do it in a different place because it separates it from the other content I make, I think it makes sense, right? I do. I think that would actually make legit sense. Now listen to this. Not Fast Enough says you're going to lose way more fans going to Kick purely off the stigma of the website. It begs the question, what's the motive of it? What fans are outright going to quit? Like if I'm only doing WWE Champions and maybe one random hangout session a week over there. Pops. Maybe 3 night streams, right? And everything else is here. My podcast continues. My major game playthroughs continue. Why would you quit? Like, what would you even do that for? That's also like, this is hilarious because that's just so hypocritical, because that's like also saying, well, nothing bad ever happens on YouTube either. So it's totally fine for Phil to make content on YouTube because everything on YouTube is 100% kosher, but Kick is the devil. What, are you crazy? Have you any concept of what happens on YouTube on a daily basis and what they allow here? Some of the most messed up stuff you've ever seen. They don't even police this site unless someone reports shit, right? Cracker Jacks asks, would it be possible to dual stream, to stream to both sites at the same time? Not right now. There's no way I'd be able to dual stream with this PC. It just wouldn't be possible. Okay? I would want to upgrade, get a better PC, split that workload, because then I might even be able to stream at one quality to one site and one quality to the other side. But that's just, it's not going to happen right now. You know? And that's funny. A2A says, I don't even understand the stigma comment. It's like a better Twitch. The bottom line is, none of these streaming services are squeaky clean, right? Twitch is fucking abhorrent with the shit that they do over there. It really is. I'm sorry. It's just, it's insanely bad over there. And they're just a horrible company when it comes to how they run the company. Insanely unprofessional. YouTube has tons of issues, namely with copyright, with content ID, with impersonation, with bullying allowed and shit like that. It's just terrible. You know what I'm saying? Lady Charisma, I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is exactly applies to YouTube as well. Lady Charisma says, Kick allows so much, they don't ban unless they get pressed. YouTube doesn't ban unless they get pressed. As long as they're making money, YouTube allows anything. Okay? There's entire channels on YouTube that are 100% defamation, bullying. You can flag the channel for bullying and they don't do anything. They don't care. YouTube is just as bad. That's pretty... I understand what you're saying. People literally go to Kick because they want to have that uncensored factor, correct? And Kick allows that. That I understand. That at that point you're making, I get. I would do my best to try to stop that with my streams. There's words I can block. There's bots I can put in place. I want to have a place where it's not going to be people coming in and saying every awful word under the sun, every insult, every doxing and shit. You know, I can't have that. I got to make sure that we find a way to try to control that over there, right? But the point that you're saying, oh, they don't ban anyone unless they get pressed. YouTube is just as bad. They don't give a crap. YouTube barely ever enforces anything. It's ridiculous. What if Kick offered me an undeniable deal to move there permanently? I would not move. I even told you I can't move. Like, my content is higher quality than what Kick allows. Do you understand? Like, the actual bitrate and stuff that I record and broadcast at would not work on Kick. I wouldn't even be able to do Silent Hill 2 at 1080p, 60 frames, and the bitrate I do, it wouldn't work. They only allow 8,500 kilobits. It would look like shit. So that wouldn't make sense. They would, if they offered me, hey, you'll come here and do this style of content, this certain kind of content exclusively here, that's different. Because then if it's acceptable at what I'm doing, but I can't just move my whole business over there. Even if they wanted me to, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't work. You see? Again, if I had a better PC, all this could be different, because someone says, I don't understand, why isn't that good enough for 1080p? Because my fucking PC is 10 years old. I'm using an over 10-year-old PC. It can't do good things at low bitrate. If I have a new streaming PC, if I spend a lot of money and I end up buying a brand new streaming PC that has a, you know, top-of-the-line graphics card, better capture card, then maybe I could be doing these things at a lower bitrate. I can't right now. It's just not possible. I'm using insanely outdated stuff. Get it? There you go. Tob just did a $12.50 super chat and says, I've been watching you for years, and let me say you're one of the most intelligent, smart, handsome, and brilliant men I've ever seen. Sexy men get trashed on. Tob throbs for you. That's insanely disturbing. Incredibly disturbing. But thank you for the super chat, Tob. Tob throbs. Oh my god. Tob throbs. That was a $12.50 super chat. Wow. So, by the way, guys, we've been talking about this topic now for a bit. I think we've talked about it enough for today's stream, right? Let's leave it at this. I'm considering doing a test stream on Kick to see how it goes. It could be as early as this weekend's WWE Champion stream on like Saturday night. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna do it or not. I have to look into it. I have to figure this out. And of course, the big thing here is I need to find a way to make it work so that it's not going to be a crazy, unhinged environment. But also, I got to make it work for me. I got to make it that people will support that stream. I'm not going to be partnered on Kick that first stream or the second stream. I need to make money. So it's going to have to be kind of like, tips there, right? Please tip me during the stream so at least I can make some revenue so I can do the pull like you guys want to see me do during the stream. But I don't know if it's going to work. It could be a big disaster. It just doesn't work at all, right? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens, right? Then why move? Because the possibility can't work unless you take advantage of the possibility, right? The opportunity. Opportunity knocks. If I do like 2 streams over on Kick and do the 5 hours, then I can get partnered. And then affiliate. And then you can receive memberships. And then I can actually monetize the content. I'd have to do 2 streams to qualify for that. See? That is true. Lady Charisma says that one of the things that I can think of, or the only good thing I can think of for Kick, you won't have to skip any videos on DSP versus the internet. I mean, that's true for sure. Like, I would just be able to watch every video. But that would break the whole system then, because the whole point of DSP versus the internet is the memberships that I get on the channel on YouTube. And if I'm not broadcasting it on YouTube, that doesn't really make sense, does it? Maybe it does, because maybe you could still just watch it anyway after. Man, we'd have to figure all this out. Ugh. I see. It's very complicated trying to figure all this out, because I've already got so much going on, right? All right. Anyway, I'm kind of tired of the subject, quite frankly. All right. So I think we should change the subject. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it today. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Let's go ahead and try to figure out if we should try this weekend. All right. I'm debating if I should try it on Saturday night for the WWE Champion stream and give it a shot and see what happens. Right. I'm just curious, if I stream on Kick on Saturday night, would people tip me? Because that audience on Kick is a Kick-centric audience. They're going to want to do subs. I can't take subs yet, right? Good Lord. AOR did a $5 super chat. What's your opinion on using substances at the start of a stream? So you mean review tech. What's my opinion on review tech? I've already given you my opinion on review tech. It's pathetic. Like, if that's the only way he can get himself to do a stream or go through a stream, then he shouldn't stream, right? It's just ridiculous. He can't even be himself and sober on a stream anymore, then he shouldn't do it. Okay. All right, so let's end the discussion for now. Let's see how we're doing, because I wasn't paying any attention. We have over 400 viewers for that discussion. The Kick discussion garnered over 400 viewers. We have 69 likes, guys. Let's get that up to 100 likes for the podcast, all right? And let's get some support going right now. As of now, we're at $40 in support, and it's mostly super chats and $2 in tips. So let's get some support going, guys. Let's get that momentum moving. Let's get the streak continuing today so we can do the Krabby Patty Meal DSP tries it this weekend, right? Let's do it. AOR did another super chat. Says no duty. No duty. Excuse me. I don't know anything about duty. If you mean duty, I also don't know anything about duty. I don't follow duty. I don't want to follow duty. But listen, if you're going around your life watching and following duty, I think you have some serious issues. You know what I'm saying? Okay. See what I mean? This constructive criticism person isn't actually giving constructive criticism. They're just regurgitating troll memes over and over. And it just doesn't matter. The stuff you're saying doesn't matter. The people who are here on my streams enjoy my content, like me as a person, and, you know, are happy that I have admitted to my shortcomings in the last couple of months, fessed up to them, and I'm changing for the better. They like the changes I've made. They like the content I'm making. They like everything. So your point when you come in here and you say, oh, but Phil did this in the past and Phil did that in the past. Yeah, the past. You're right. The past is the past, you incredible mouth-drooling dunce. It's the past. Now we're in the present and we're moving towards the future. We don't live in the past like you, where the detractors live. The detractors always live in the past. Like, they actually now, here we go again, like they don't do the same shit in a cycle, right? They're trying to circulate around some kind of a montage of me saying the N-word, despite the fact that in 16 years of content, I've never actually said the N-word. I've said variations of it in a time when I was like playing a character or reiterating what someone else said, like when Booker T accidentally said it on WCW TV, and I think I was playing like Prince of Persia 15 years ago, and I just said what Booker T said. Oh, you see, Phil says the N-word. No, I don't. I've literally never actually said the N-word once. I've only said variations of it in a comedic fashion, reiterating what someone else said or playing a character, and it was all a decade or more ago. You are full of shit. But this is what I mean. They literally regurgitate the same shit over and over and over as if it's something new because they live in the fucking past. That's what these morons do. They're that dumb. Yeah, why do you think they wanted me to watch back the alternate choices run of Heavy Rain? There's a reason, because that was one of the instances where I actually said that word, a variation of it, not the full word, not like they say, not the hard R, but the variation of it, because I was playing as one of the characters in the game. I was like doing voice commentary like I was them in the moment, as I used to do, that kind of improv commentary and shit. But I mean, that was 2010, right? It was 2010. It's 2024. I don't do that stuff anymore. I haven't in a very, very long time. People have called me out for it, said, Phil, you can't do that. It's not acceptable in any circumstance, to which I respond, you're right. I was wrong. I'm not going to do it anymore, right? But then here we go. All of a sudden, it's 2024, and my detractors want to act like I'm a racist again. It's like, no, you tried that last year and the year before and the year before and the year before and the year before. It's still the same shtick. You don't have anything to say anymore. You don't. There's nothing left. The stuff you're saying is so bullshit. You know what I mean? And they keep rehashing it, right? Okay. I received a couple of tips here. Well, actually, AOR did another $2 super chat. Said, I can hear Duty's addiction in his speech. I believe you. I don't know what you're talking about, though. I'm not in on the lore of these detractors. I don't know. I have no idea what you're even saying about this guy. But I don't know, right? Oh, let's see here. All right, we got a couple tips. I got a $2 tip. See, here we go. If you stream on Kick, can you bring back your persona from Dead Space? No. No. I will not be bringing back my persona from Dead Space. I think that would be a pretty bad idea, don't you? I mean, I think this person is just, they're being stupid, right? Okay. I received a $2 tip. Funny how you mentioned RTU is your top A-logger. Duty is on X bragging about how he pressed Rich into not doing the interview with you. I don't care. No, really, I don't care. You have to understand that, like, to them, I'm the most important thing in all of their lives. I just want you to think about this. Phil Burnell, Darkside Phil, I'm the most important thing going on for Rich. I'm the most important thing going on for Duty. I'm the most important thing going on for all this whole detractor sphere of weirdos, right? It's all about Phil. To me, they're all insignificant. My life goes on. I get on stream and I talk about whatever I want, and it has nothing to do with them. Maybe every once in a while I give them some attention if it's pertinent to me or if it benefits me, but I don't care what they say and they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a shit. It's pointless to even waste time. But to them, that's, hyper focus. Let's sit on X talking about Phil. Sit on X, like, what are you talking about? Right? Okay. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I just got an email. It's completely unrelated to anything we're talking about. I'm trying to understand what it says. Okay. Let's see here. I'll have to read that later. Of course, I have to get emails like this in the middle of my podcast. I'm like, I don't know what this means. I have to look at this later. It has nothing to do with this. Okay. All right, a bunch of contributions on the YouTube side. So, AOR did another $2 super chat and said, I called him out on his addiction. He got mad. I really don't even know what you're talking about because I don't listen to Duty. Like, I have no clue what you're even addressing. Like, what you think he's up to. Again, nor do I really give a shit. Maybe one day we'll get to talking about that, but not this morning. So thank you for the super chat. Moral Killer with a $2 super chat saying I'm ignoring Sarah. I've been talking back and forth with Sarah and many others in the chat all morning. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It sounds to me like you're just being a moron. I have no idea what you're speaking of. In fact, I'm scrolling up, but I don't even see anything from Sarah for the entire page here. So you're dumb. Okay. I'm Troublesome gifted a membership, and it went to Mitch W54. Congrats, Mitch, on that. Thank you, I'm Troublesome, for supporting the channel. Tob did another super chatter. $5 as real throbbers stand proud against the detractors. There you go. He's a real throbber indeed. Thanks for that. I Cabal with a £5 super chat says live poorly cooking with the king on Kick could bake and decorate. Oh, okay. That's something I wanted to bring up. Okay. How in the holy hell do you stream on Kick from a phone or something? Because like right now, I could open up my phone, go to my YouTube page, click go live, and just broadcast straight from my phone right onto my YouTube page. And I used to be able to do that with Twitch. No, that doesn't exist on Kick. Like last night, I was in my the Kick app, which is what I use to watch the Kino Casino streams. There's like no dashboard anywhere. Like I'm looking all around and I'm like, it doesn't exist. Like, where do you do it from? But now when I'm on my desktop, I can access the dashboard and it has, here's your stream key and everything. I would think what it is, Kick doesn't have their own stream service built in. You have to use a third-party stream service somehow. Like, for example, OBS. Like, you have to have OBS set up and ready to go, and then you put in a stream key from Kick, and you use that app to broadcast. I don't see any way that you can just do it directly on Kick at all. Like, I was looking, I can't find it. I see it nowhere. There's no go live button, like, anywhere on the dashboard at all. It just doesn't exist. It's stream info, preview. Yeah, there's no go live at all. You need to do something with the stream key from Kick to do it on phone. I'm not sure. I've never streamed from my phone on Kick. See what I mean? Like, how do you do it? No, because last night, okay, my wife had to go to bed early because when Kat works, she works early in the morning, right? So she had to go to bed early, and I'm laying in bed and I'm not tired yet. And I was talking with some people about interviews, and I was messing around doing work. This is what I mean. I always end up doing work right before I go to sleep. And I had the Kick app open, and I was kind of messing around with it. And I said, how funny would it be if I randomly go live? Now, I can't talk, but I could just like have my face being googly faces and just chatting with people for like a half an hour just to see what would happen. I was going to do that. Legit, last night, I was going to do that. And I'm looking all around, and there's nothing there. There's no go live. There's, you know what I'm saying? None of that exists in the app at all. And I'm like, so how do you do it? But now that I'm on my desktop, okay, it has the dashboard, and the dashboard has the place where you can like get the stream key, right? I don't, does anyone know? Literally not a single person in the chat knows. Because like I said, if I just want to stream from my phone on YouTube, I could do it in 10 seconds. Twitch is exactly the same. It has it built in to go. But apparently not Kick. Kick, you need to use some third party in order to actually stream, right? Yeah. So Cabal, I wouldn't even answer. I don't think I could even do that right now. I have no clue how it even works. I would have to figure this out. I don't know. Yeah, people are saying there are IRL streams. I don't know how they do them. I'm literally on my Kick dashboard right now. It's got stream, and all the stream is all the info from when you're already streaming and the chat. That's literally it. And then you've got monetization. That's not going to help me because I can't monetize now anyway. Achievements, which shows you how you can earn monetization. Studio video, which I think, oh, VODs. This is your videos on demand. So you can look at your on-demand videos that you've created from your archive streams. Community, where there's chat settings, moderators, badges, and emotes. And overall account settings, which includes your stream key. Like, that's how you get your stream key. But there's literally nothing that says stream. See? Nothing. Capital J says you have to link another account like Streamlabs. And there you go. I can't. I am banned from Streamlabs and Stream Elements because my trolls mass reported me 3.5 years ago showing them montages of things I said over a decade ago, and all the services banned me. So I can't use a third-party service at all to stream. I have to stream direct from OBS or direct from my phone. It's been like this for almost 4 years. I told you, this is the same time I got kicked out of the partner program. It was the same time that Teespring shut down my merch account. It was all happened like the same month because these trolls did it to all the businesses I was associated with, and they got me banned from everything. So I don't know how I would do it then. Like, I guess I would never be able to do the IRL streams. They're not possible. AOR did another $2 super chat. Would you ever help Duty find the light? No. Help Duty. The only thing I will help Duty do is go get flushed. That's about it. I don't care about that person. I don't know. I honestly don't know why you're talking about them that much. They're just not that important. OBS would be my best bet. How do you use OBS on a phone? How in the holy hell would you ever use OBS on a phone? I don't think you can you? Because that's really what spearheaded this whole thing. Like, I didn't understand what was going on. And last night, I was like, man, I think I'm just going to try to do a random stream. Right? I think I'm just going to try to start one up and just see what happens if anyone shows up or whatever. And there was nothing that I could, here's your stream key, begin your stream, but I'm not streaming from anywhere. Like, what good is a stream key to me if I can't stream from any location? Like, it didn't make any sense what they were telling me. Excuse me. All right, guys. So here's the deal. Currently, we have over 400 viewers, 86 likes. Let's get 100 likes right now. Let's get to 100 likes. If you're sitting here on the stream and you've enjoyed this discussion today, please click the like button. All right? Let's get that going. Let's get some engagement. Now, as for support, we're currently at $64 in support. Let's get that going. Let's get some super chats, some super stickers. Let's get some tips. Right now we have like $4 in tips, right? All day. So let's get some of that going. Let's get that momentum going to continue the streak. We can do that Krabby Patty. DSP tries it this weekend, right? Let's keep that momentum moving. Capital J says there's other ones like Prism Live Studio, Lyrics Broadcaster, and Omelet Arcade. Now, Capital J, I understand what you're saying, but what's to say that the idiots don't just go do that with those places too, right? Like, if this already happened with 2 other services, right? 3.5 years ago, what's to stop them from just doing the same thing with the next service? That's what I mean. Like, I don't want to get all set up and be like, oh, look, now we got something going and this is working nicely. And then it just gets taken away from me because these businesses are so fucking stupidly unprofessional that they'll literally watch a montage of clips that took place in 2010, act like it happened today, and then moderate me for it today. Because that's what happened 3.5 years ago, and I've had enough. I've had enough about being treated like a child for things that are so long in the past and don't apply anymore. You need Streamlabs to stream Kick on your phone. I looked it up on Kick's help page. Then I can't. Then I could never do IRL content on Kick. It would never work. I cannot dual stream. I've already explained I can't. Okay? If I get a new streaming PC that can handle that capacity, then yes, I cannot dual stream right now. It's not possible. I have an over 10-year-old PC. It can't handle anything. Okay. We got all kinds of debate going on now in chat about this. Should he dual stream? Should he not dual stream? Should he split this stream? Only do it on one place? Should he do this? It's like, oh. That's what I mean. Like, we talked about it enough today. I don't want to get a headache. We didn't even get to my news stories today, so I guess we'll save the news stories for tomorrow. One of them is absolutely hilarious. It's about a Nintendo alarm clock. It's so funny. Yeah, Cracker Jacks, here's the thing. He says, what about migrating to Cat's computer? Cat's computer's from 2017. Okay? If I migrate over to my wife's computer, I'm literally migrating over to a 7 to 8-year-old computer. I'm going from a 10-year-old computer to an 8-year-old computer. The reason that originally I wanted to do that was because I was in a dire strait where I knew I couldn't afford another computer, and it was like the best case scenario that I was going to get, right? Like I told you guys, I didn't want to do a big fundraiser event where people were going to be generous and contribute, but then I wasn't going to make any money for a whole month because people were so generous to get the PC that they can't afford support for the rest of the month. So, you know, there would really not be much of a benefit to go from my PC to Cat's PC. There'd be some, but not great. Like, the best thing to do is get a new one. To get a new one, and that way I'm good to go for many years of streaming, you know, and an internal capture card and everything. You know, it would just be so much better. I did get your email, Lady Charisma, yes. Cabal, I don't know about any new products as of yet. Right now, the product line that I have on darksidefill.shop is what it is, okay? And dependent, I would assume, dependent on how successful that line is and what other products are offered, you know, I don't know. I don't control that. What I can do is pass along suggestions. So Cabal is wondering if there'll ever be a bigger mug. Maybe, I don't know. I would have to talk with them about it. What happened to a PC I got a while back? I don't know what you're talking about. The last desktop PC I got was that gaming one, and that's what I'm gaming on every single day. And the PC I got before that is literally the 10-year-old PC sitting right here next to me. That's my streaming computer. That's the only PCs I have for me. The only other PC in the equation is my wife's PC. Silvando did a $5 super chat and says, have you spoken to 1 Minute Man recently? No, I don't speak to 1 Minute Man. 1 Minute Man was a longtime contributor, right? And for the longest time, all they would do is contribute once a day, which was great. And then basically during the Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, they continued to contribute, but then they started talking, asking questions and things like that. And then over the course of several months, they became like very opinionated about things with the tips they were giving and stuff. And then apparently they started having disagreements with me and said, well, I'm just going to leave. And I was like, okay, like I can't make you stay if you don't like my opinions or my content. I don't know what to say. And then they left, and that was the end of it. That's the last time I've heard from them. And that was how many months ago? I don't even remember, you know, but that's how life works, right? Like in life, sometimes you have support, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're friendly with someone, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you like someone's content, sometimes you grow out of it or grow apart from that, right? I mean, back in the day, I was the biggest fan of Angry Video Game Nerd or Nostalgia Critic, and I watched and I digested every single piece of their content for like 2 straight years. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, and I stopped watching it. You know, now I go back and every once in a while, I'll watch some new stuff they put out. And some of it I like, and some of it I just like, oh, God. You know, it's just not good anymore, you know. But that's just how it is, right? So, and particularly, I don't even remember what it was with 1 Minute Man at all. I don't even remember the conversation. That's not a big deal to me. Like, it was nice to have the support when I had it. It was nice to be friendly with them while they were here. And then they decided to leave. So, that's their prerogative. It's nothing I worry about. It's nothing I'm even, you know, to think about, you know? Many people, you know, that's been like that over the years, right? People they've been here every day, they're talking, they're hanging out, and then they're like, well, they're moving on. And that's life. That's how stuff goes. I mean, I've been around for 16 years. I've had probably 5 to 6 different generations of viewers in that time period. You know, people who probably watched for like 2 years, right? All right, guys, it's time to end the show. All right? Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for the engagement. Thanks for the support. Did we hit the 100 likes? Are you kidding me? 95 likes. 5 people click like right now. Let's hit 100. Come on. Let's do it right now before we adjourn the show. All right? Thank you for the early support. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show and the open discussion about Kick. I'm sure we'll be talking more about this in the coming days. Thanks for the consideration. So, today, it's time for more Silent Hill 2, which I'm very much looking forward to because the game is great. We're going to do the second half, the Hell Hospital, so to speak. And then we're going to be doing more WWE Champion Zombies tonight. So I hope you'll join me for all of the fun all day long. Tomorrow I'll be back with the news stories I didn't do today, some updates, probably talk a little bit more about Kick and all of that. All right? Thank you, guys. It did exhaust me. Fed Rogers says the conversation exhausted you. It did. It's very exhausting. All right. Guys, thank you so much. See you tomorrow.